twin flame triggers are a very important part of the journey. You trigger them and they trigger you. But there's other aspects of life that will trigger you as well. Your thoughts, your surroundings, your environment. But sometimes we tend to avoid them. We think, if I don't let this trigger me, I'm okay. But if you avoid your triggers, you're actually avoiding your healing. So we have to start to face our triggers with courage and realize they're a very important part if we want to move forward. My name is Cleary. I'm a founder and empowerment coach. I specialize in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. We think that if we avoid the thing that makes us angry or avoid the thing that upsets us, we're fine. We'll be okay. We're better if we don't see it. Out of sight, out of mind. But we have to be triggered on this journey. And this is the thing, obviously if we're triggered by what we see in their social media page, or we're triggered that their life is moving forward, we can help to heal ourselves by obviously avoiding stalking their social media too much. But other times, it's actually important that we go through these things, because your jealousy wound, your insecurity wound, your unworthiness wound, they're the wounds that are within you, that have been there since childhood, past lives, etc. And we need something to trigger us, because if we don't get triggered, then how can we heal? So if we're constantly in this energy of, I'm going to wrap myself in cotton wool, and I'm not going to let anything penetrate this cotton wool, and I'm not going to get pissed off or triggered or upset by anything, and that's fine. That's how I heal. It's not healing. That's literally like putting a wall around your heart and going, I'm going to fucking ignore everything. Because this is what we do. We have a wall around our heart. That wall is actually blocking the pain that we have had, or the wounds that we have. So we need a reason for somebody to break down that wall, something to break down that wall, in order to face what's inside us. And this is the thing. I'll deliberately allow myself to be triggered in order to heal. My friend said to me the other day, she was like, I hope I'm not going to trigger you. And I'm like, I want you to fucking trigger me. Do you know what I mean? We can't heal on our twin flame journey if we're not triggered. And if we avoid our triggers and do things to avoid our triggers, or, sugarcoat things for our friends, to help them avoid their triggers, that's not helping. You need to be, if you're a trigger to your friend, or if your twin flame is a trigger to you, this is a good thing. This is a very good thing. And, we get angry with our twin flame. We're like, oh, you fucking asshole. You're after upsetting me, or you hurt me. But, you can only be hurt by someone based on your level of wounding. I've said this before. Or we'll do an example. I've done this before. If you stub your toe and you're in a good space, you're okay. There's nothing going on. You're not having a healing cycle. You're actually in a high vibe energy. You stub your toe, you'd probably laugh at yourself. But the next day, if you're going through a healing cycle and you stub your toe, you're going to... Nothing changed except what was inside you. It's not outside, it's inside. And this has happened to me loads of times. I'll be for example, as well, you could watch a movie, rewatch a movie. And I've rewatched movies where I've watched the movie and gone, Jesus, that fucker pissed me off the last time I watched that. Oh, he made me angry, or this person or that person made me angry. And this is the thing. There's certain people that will make you angry, or they trigger something within you, because it's within you. So a person's appearance or a person's demeanor or behavior triggers something that's suppressed within you. So your twin flame or your friend or whoever it is that triggers you is going to literally showing you what's within you that you're suppressing. This is it, and you trigger your twin flame as well. You're triggering parts of each other that need to be expressed, need to be released, need to be shown, need to be seen. Parts that need to be healed. But if you avoid triggers, if you avoid something that is going, because my friend said to me the other day, is I was reading Chicken Soup for the Soul love stories, and they're real life love stories, and they're lovely, but the first day I read them, they were making me emotional, sad, but lovely. Oh, they're lovely. The next day, I was in a very triggered fucking energy regarding my twin flame, and I was reading them, and I was getting very fucking angry. And I said to her on the phone, I'm reading them, I was getting so angry with them. And she's like, maybe you shouldn't read them right now. And I was like, no, I have to read them. They need to trigger me. I need to be triggered. I need to be able to express myself. And when I did that, when I allowed myself to be triggered, the next day I read the same story, or, the next few stories. And I did get emotional, but I didn't get angry. You see what I mean? The book itself didn't change. But in the middle of the book, I was going through some shit, so the fucking book made me angry. But that's a good thing. You know what I mean? And watching movies, for example, I remember, was it a couple of Christmases ago? And I wanted to watch 2 movies I'd seen before. But every time, like, the universe was literally showing me the names of these movies left, right, and centre. And I was like, the universe wants me to watch these again. And I wanted to watch them again. But I kept saying no. I was like, oh, I don't want to. They're going to make me cry. Oh, God, I don't want to cry. You know what I mean? I was going through a tough time anyway. Like, and like, usually I'm the kind of person who, if I'm going through a healing cycle, I'll watch that Disney movie. I'll watch that chick flick because it will make me cry. And I'm like, I need to purge. I need to heal. But for some reason, I kept avoiding watching these 2 movies. So I finally got around to it. That night I watched the 2 movies and I absolutely completely broke open. And I was like, I realize now why I was avoiding this. I really needed to heal what was in me. There was so much depth to the pain and the trauma that was in there. So much stuff that was buried. So I needed to be triggered. And the universe guided me to watch certain things to trigger me to purge. So, you know, ever since then, I'll force a trigger, if you get me. I know it sounds weird, but I'll do the thing that I know is going to upset me because I know I have to be upset. Like, obviously in separation, we wonder why, like, we've been healing for so long. We're in separation for so long. We're like wondering why separation has taken so long. The only reason separation is still continuing is because you still have stuff to heal. And we're so quick to say, I've done so much work. I've been healing for fucking years. I don't need to do anymore. And like, then you're sitting there twiddling your thumbs going, where's fucking union? You know what I mean? Why is separation still here? I've healed my shit. You haven't healed your shit. If you think you've healed your shit, you definitely haven't healed your shit. Because I still haven't healed my shit and I'm fucking healing my shit for such a long time. Do you know what I mean? But like, I know that separation is still here because I still have stuff to heal. And you know, I closed my heart off again last month. For the last month, I closed my heart off again. I went into this energy of, I'm fine. I'm fucking fine. I knew I wasn't fine. I wasn't even talking to my friends and I was like, really wasn't, you know, I wasn't allowing myself to feel what I was feeling. So I avoided my triggers. And that was it, actually. I said this in yesterday's video. Like, I'll deliberately watch those chick flicks and those Disney movies, those cartoons, anything I know that'll make me cry because I'm going through healing cycles all the time. So my weekends I'll watch those movies so that I will actually be able to purge, so I'm good for the week. But the last month, I went from watching Hallmark movies to do the crying to watching all action movies. It was like John Wick marathons. It was that kind of energy. It was like, don't make me cry. I still cried, but because I cry even during action movies. But I was literally avoiding my pain because I was like, I'm watching an action movie today. I have to watch an action movie today. I can't watch a chick flick. Do you know what I mean? And now this week I'm not avoiding again and I'm actually watching the movies that will make me cry. So like, you know, this is it. Like, it's like literally that energy of I have to be triggered. If I'm not triggered, I'm not healing. And obviously we will get to a stage where we're not triggered and we're healed and we're in union. Yay, we'll get there. But right now, if you're still in separation and you're avoiding everything that upsets you, you're avoiding like, obviously there is certain things where we actually have to separate ourselves from things that do upset us. But we have to understand why that thing upset you. Do you know what I mean? But like, if you're deliberately saying to yourself, I'm not watching this movie, or I'm not going to do this, or I'm not going to allow myself to be triggered here, you know, allow the trigger, allow it. Because the trigger is only going to come if there's something within you that needs to be healed. Do you know what I mean? So like, you know, if we're presented with a certain thing over and over again, the thing is going to trigger us every single time, but only if we haven't healed what's within. And this is it. Like, you know, as it's the whole toe stubbing thing. You can stub your toe 10 times, but if you're in a good space, it's not going to affect you. If you're in a bad space, it's going to fuck you. It's going to fuck you up. The same with that book I mentioned I read. Made me cry, but that was okay. Made me fucking angry, then made me cry again. Do you know what I mean? But what was the difference in the book? Me. I had good days. Triggering day. And like, you know, when I'm really triggered, everything pisses me off. Everything. One thing triggered me. I saw my twin flame's birthday date that morning, and that was what fucking set me off for the whole day. I was just fucked for the whole day. But everything fucking pissed me off and triggered me. But I'm also glad of that because it made me realise, why was I upset about this? What do I need to understand in regards to that? Do you know what I mean? Like, why did this why is this affecting me? And that's it. You ask yourself those questions. This is why you use your triggers as your guides. You know what I mean? We have to start being grateful for the things that upset us. I know it sounds weird, but we do. We have to start being grateful for our twin flame's behavior, because this is orchestrated. You and your twin flame made a pact and said, piss me off and I'll piss you off. And once we piss each other off, we get to heal our shit. It's effectively what we said. So like, when we get angry at our twin flame for pissing us off, it's like you asked him to piss you off. You need him to piss you off so that you can you can heal. You know, like for example, like the jealousy wound, or the insecurity wound, the unworthiness wound. Do you know what I mean? Like, they have to be triggered. They're your past wounds that need to be faced and released. And this is the thing, and it's funny, like, you know, I'll avoid stalking my twin flame on social media sometimes. Because if it starts getting to a stage where it's really pissing me off or really triggering me or upsetting me, you know, to see that he's getting on with his life and I'm not a part of it, that upsets me. And sometimes then I'll ignore, I'll stop stalking. But then it's my mind, you know, a random thought, and it's like I'm triggered because of the random thought. So the universe would bring ways of you being triggered no matter what happens. The trigger has to come, the trigger has to happen. No matter what way it happens, it has to happen somehow. You know, as I said, it was just seeing his birthday date that actually upset me for the whole fucking day. Do you know what I mean? It's like, one little thing and I'm in a spiral mode. But like, this is the thing, we can have a week where we're not triggered. That doesn't mean we're fucking fully healed and it's all rainbows and unicorns. It literally means that you had, to me, it's like I had an avoidance week. Because literally, if I'm not triggered Monday to Sunday and then I'm triggered next week, it's still, it's not like that pain wasn't inside me. It's something I was effectively avoiding it. Because this is the thing, like, you know, for example, like if you've been in contact with your twin flame, or you've, been, met up with them or something like that, you're on a high. You're on a fucking high. You're like, yes, union energy. Yeah, we're getting it. This is I'm fucking healed and we're in action now and everything's going to be okay. And then they go ghost. And then you're like, no, it's fine. They'll be back. Oh my, like, it's fine. Just keep checking my phone. He'll text again. And you're still on this high, and then the high starts getting low, and you're like lower and lower, and then you're like, why the fuck aren't they texting? The fuck is going on? I'm fucking angry now. I'm upset now. My unworthiness wound is re-triggered, and I'm really, and then you're kind of going, this is why. You know what I mean? Like this whole energy. We're supposed to get to a place where we don't seek external validation. So we should be in a place where when we get contact from our twin flame, yes, we feel good about it, but it shouldn't be the thing that cures the wound. It's like, oh, everything's okay now. I have no healing left. It's like, no, this is supposed to happen to remind you that you have loads of fucking healing still to do. So like, I'll be on a high for the first 3 days and then the first week, and then I'm like, no, it's fine. They're ghosting because they need space. But if they need space, then so do you. And then you're like, oh, you're getting angry then. All the frustrations come up and you're like shouting at them in the 5D. And then you're realizing, oh, this is why I'm triggered. This is why I'm in separation. This is why I need fucking space. It's because I still have stuff to heal. So we have to understand that every time we're triggered is important. And one thing we have to get good at is if they text that we don't turn into a fucking teenager and go, oh my God, yay, it's over. We don't have to do separation anymore. And it's like all my love and all the love I need and all my unworthiness has disappeared because you just validated me. And then you go into this hyper, yay energy. And then you're like slowly crashing. Because you're still seeing them as a drug in a sense. They're still your cure for your unworthiness, your cure for your validation. And this is why we go through these ups and downs, is because we're going to continue in these cycles if we don't face the trigger afterwards. If we avoid the trigger that comes, if we just go into the same cycle again and we're sitting there looking at our phone going, they'll text, you know what I mean? And you're sitting there avoiding, you're waiting, you're not healing, you're waiting. Like, you have to detach from the connection in those moments of pause, in those moments of triggers, in those moments of healing. Turn your phone off, change the ringtone, to something different, you know, because I remember when I had the regular ringtone. Every time I got a message, it was like, yes, it's them. It's like, it wasn't them. Yes, it's them. It's not them. Yes, it's them. It's not them. So I just changed his notification tone. So now if he ever texts, it's like, oh shit, it's them. Do you know what I mean? And like, so at least I know, but at least every time my phone gets a message now, I'm not like, oh my God, it's them. I'm like, it's not them. Do you know what I mean? So we have to start getting good at facing, owning, and appreciating our triggers. We have to stop avoiding the things that upset us and actually run towards them. Because the quicker we're triggered, or the more we're triggered, the quicker we heal. So that's why I run towards a movie that's going to make me cry, or a love movie or something like that. Something that will help me purge. Because Hallmark movies, right? They're the most corniest love movies. There's not even sex in them. It's just a completely like PG love, like, you know what I mean? And they're lovely. They're lovely. I'm trying to brainwash myself into believing that happy ever after. But they trigger the fuck out of me. I'm there shouting at the television going, use your fucking words, for fuck's sake, communicate. Why am I triggered? Because I'm not getting that communication in my twin flame connection, and it's something I need to heal. But I'm not going to stop watching Hallmark movies because I know I need to be triggered by them in order to understand what's going on with me. So I run towards the trigger. So we need to start running towards our triggers rather than running away from them. Stop avoiding them, because if you avoid your trigger, you avoid your healing. And just face it and appreciate it. Appreciate what your twin flame is doing. Appreciate that you're triggering them, they're triggering you, and you both asked each other to do that so that you can face your shit, so you can heal. So your triggers are your biggest guides. I'll keep doing videos on this because we're all continuously triggered. And remember, if separation is still on, if it's still happening, even with bouts of communication, the communication is there to trigger you, actually. You know, it's there to do another cycle of triggering. You have to understand separation is happening because it needs this time and space for you to still heal. There's still some things to heal. If they're running, so are you. You have to ask yourself, what are you still afraid of if they're still avoiding as well? What are you avoiding? So like the thing is that we could be avoiding is that our triggers and are avoiding our healing. Like they are, you know what I mean? Avoiding our feelings, avoiding our truth, avoiding love, avoiding our growth, avoiding. This is the thing, the big word avoiding right now. If they're avoiding you and avoiding their growth, avoiding their healing, then some part of you is as well. So you have to ask yourself, if they're the avoidant, what part of you is mirrored? You know what I mean? Because you're avoidant as well. You know, we give out so much about our divine masculine being an avoidant, but if they're an avoidant, there's certain parts of you that mirror that. So what parts of your life are you avoiding? Are you avoiding your triggers? Are you avoiding your healing? Are you avoiding your growth? Keep asking yourself these questions. Keep coming back. Ask yourself everything. Every little thing that goes on has a lesson, has a guide, has something to show you. And every time they come back around and then go away again, this just means you're going through another healing cycle. So instead of avoiding, heal. You know, face this stuff. Face your wounds, face your triggers, appreciate your triggers, and start to run towards them. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today. Love nothing more than helping your path. Also, I have another channel called Aligning with Angie, where I share a guided meditation every week. The info for that is in the description box.